to the Love Dog Podcast. I am your co-host, Raina Butcher, here with our host, Dr. Sarah Hensley, the founder and CEO of the Love Dog Relationship Coaching Services. You can find her at thelovedog.com or on any social media handle at Dr. Sarah Hensley.
Hey.
Hey.
Sup?
What's up? First and foremost, we want to thank our affiliate,
Yes.
BedJet.
My favorite product in the entire world.
Guys, we're not kidding.
Not kidding.
You don't know what to get your partner?
Addicted.
Get them a BedJet.
If you are a crappy gift giver, you can redeem yourself for life
With the
if
BedJet.
you give someone a BedJet.
Mm-hmm.
They will. I got my mom one for Mother's Day.
That is a good
And
gift.
every day when she comes over, she's like, I just want to say I love my BedJet so much.
Aw, that's awesome.
Yeah.
And I'm the same way. My husband got mine for me last Christmas, and he's an excellent gift giver, but it is at the top of the list in terms, other than maybe like my engagement ring, obviously.
Yeah, obviously.
But, it is at the top of my list in terms, it's second to my engagement ring, guys. So if that tells you anything about how amazing the BedJet is,
Yes.
that should tell you something.
So here's what it is. It is a climate-controlled system for your bed. It is basically a heating and air system that blows not directly on you, but through a very luxurious cloud sheet that makes you feel like you are just enveloped in the perfect temperature all night long. So you can turn it to any temperature you want, from like 60-something degrees to 109 degrees. I go in 109 degrees turbo mode when I get in my bed.
Same.
And then you can set a biorhythm so you can, and it will help you on the app. It has an app that goes with it and will ask you a bunch of questions about how you sleep and what you experience. And it will change your temperature throughout the night to promote better sleep. So your body actually falls asleep by dropping its core body temperature. So the BedJet can help you do that. If you have trouble falling asleep, it can help you maintain temperature. If you wake up hot, it can help keep you dry. It has a dry function you can put along with the temperature setting, so that if you are getting night sweats, like, happens in menopause, you can stay bone dry all night long. It is absolutely fantastic. And now when I go to hotels, I'm sad. And I'm going to just buy an extra set of BedJets and pack them in a suitcase.
Yeah, they need like a little portable one.
They do. They actually, Donald commented on their page one time and was like, you need a travel BedJet. And they said they are in the works with it.
Oh, that's awesome.
Oh my
Yes,
gosh.
that's amazing.
Like a little mini travel BedJet.
Yes. So you can go see them at bedjet.com/lovedoc and get $50 off the dual set, which you're going to want anyway, because, your partner and you may have different temperatures.
Donald and I's temperature are like 20 degrees different.
Oh, totally different. Totally different. So go check them out, and thank you so much, BedJet.
Yes.
All right. So today we are going to do another Q&A for you guys.
Yes.
I love these.
I do too. And I think our community group on Facebook, if you haven't joined, it's the Love Doc Clients and Community. Please look for the picture with the pink banner, because there's a lot of poser accounts, unfortunately.
Yes.
I've been on the friggin' verification wait list on Facebook forever, which doesn't make any sense because my Meta says I'm verified and it says I can be verified on Facebook and Instagram.
Does anybody understand Meta?
If
so,
you do,
will you please
out
write me
to
an
us.
email at Raina@thelovedoc.
If you are a Meta expert, we need you on our team.
Yes, please.
Please. We can't
it's like
figure it out to save our life.
complicated.
We actually have a sit-down meeting after this podcast with me, you, and Donald to try to figure out Meta.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because it's that much of a nightmare. So if you know anything about it, please, Raina@thelovedoc.com. I will be right on that responding. So today we're going to go into the group and
answer questions
in real time.
Yeah, that's where I was going with that point.
Yeah.
I can't moderate every question now.
Right,
If we get 50 questions a day, I can't answer 50 questions a day. I wish I could.
I mean, there's over 11,000 people in this group.
Yeah.
So it's really difficult. But one of the beautiful things about the group, is that it's a support system, right? You have to ask to be included so you can stay anonymous. But there are other people in the group, maybe some people that have gone through your
a lot of
hybrid
people
program.
that have gone through my program that will contribute really
that can
helpful
give some
answers.
good advice too. Just be leery and use good discernment, because not all of it's good advice. That's would be a tip I would give.
That is, Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And for those of you that have gone to the group, we have a legacy program with a community of people that have just gone through my program. So they are going to give you better advice,
That's
right?
right.
If you come in, because they have been working with my curriculum and my material for a while now.
So if you've actually gone through Dr. Hensley's hybrid group program and you're looking to extend your journey of healing, or just really wanting continued access to Dr. Hensley.
You get a once a month call with me.
Yeah,
a Zoom
and
call with
one
me.
live stream where we're
Of the
podcast. You
behind
get
the scenes,
a 15% lifelong discount on all one-on-ones with any of the coaches. And you get access to this community of graduates that really know their stuff.
And at free access to any new self-coaching programs that come out, which Raising Secure Kids is coming out soon.
So any new product we drop, if you're part of the legacy program, you automatically get access to it. Who wouldn't join that?
Really? It's not
$97 a month, guys.
Yeah.
So but it's only available to people who've been through the group, right? So you have to go through the group in order to be a part of the legacy program.
Because we want you to be contributing to the community with a really good knowledge base.
Exactly. So you can reach out to us at support@thelovedoc.com if you're interested in that. And let's get back into the Love Doc clients and community group. We're going to answer your questions in real time today.
On the fly.
I always like to say Dr. Hensley has not seen the ones that I'm going to ask. I've not seen any of these
questions. I don't know.
And so let's get started. Some of these are sort of long, but I tried to pick some good ones out. My husband used my picture in an AI video generator app with the prompt that said, have her act sexy and tell me she loves me. Am I wrong for asking him to delete the videos? There's a backstory. We have been having major problems for the last 2 years. He regularly threatens divorce and has told me many times that I'm sexually inadequate because I don't like to do certain sexual things that his previous lovers, including his ex-wife, as well as my old college roommate, he's made sure to specifically name them, had no problem doing for him. This gets really, really, okay. He's asked me to let him take sexy pictures of me for times when he's away on business trips, and I've repeatedly said no. That makes me incredibly uncomfortable. These videos he made using my pictures don't have nudity, but do have some flirtatious behavior. And while it comes from my picture, it doesn't end up looking or sounding like me at all, and is definitely not me. I don't like the idea of my husband lusting after this made-up woman that's a version of me. He's mad at me and says that this is an example of how I'm so controlling because I asked him very kindly and vulnerably to please delete them because they made me really uncomfortable. Now somehow he's the wronged party and I'm the problem. Am I overreacting? Am I wrong for asking him to delete the videos and for feeling uncomfortable that he made them in the first place? Oh my gosh, palm to head, girl. Look, Dr. Hensley's speechless.
I am. This is a lot to unpack. So they're obviously in this loop that is very common that Dr. Yudi talked about when she was on here, right? Of usually the male partner, I'm not getting enough sex, or I'm not getting the kind of sex that I want, and the female partner being like, well, I don't feel emotionally safe, and so I can't give you sex, and then potentially the husband complaining, well, you don't give me the type of sex that I want, or you're sexually inadequate, and that just adds to the lack of emotional safety. So her husband is massively compounding this issue.
Yes.
And there may be issues on her side where she was maybe weaponizing sex or potentially shutting down sexually without being able to hold better boundaries around the emotional safety. So they're in this stalemate. It is not in any way, shape, or form acceptable to shame your partner sexually.
Or make videos.
Or make
even if it's for
AI
your own
videos.
Pleasure,
This is, that's dysfunctional. It is dysfunctional. And will I say that you should feel safe enough in your marriage to send your partner a sexy photo? You should absolutely feel safe enough in your marriage. I would send my husband a photo in me in like my bra and underwear in 2.5 seconds.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right? Like I want him
because I trust him with
because
my
I
life.
trust him deeply.
Yeah.
I know that he would never share that. I know that it would never be seen by anybody else, and it would turn him on, and that's fun in the relationship. And you should have a marriage where there's enough safety and trust that you can do that, and you don't feel uncomfortable doing that.
But if he's taking those pictures and making them something
then
different,
we're removing consent, right? And so then it becomes not okay.
Right.
So the answer to the general question, is this okay? No, it's not okay.
And no, you're not overreacting.
You're not overreacting. And what he's doing is very, very harmful in the relationship. Sexual shame is incredibly hard to overcome. If you're sexually shaming your partner, they're in no way, shape, or form going to feel safe enough to give you sex. And if they do, it's going to be a complete fawn response. They're going to be abandoning themselves, violating their own boundaries, and it's never going to work. So you guys need to enter some sex therapy. Go seek Dr. Udy services.
Dr. Rebecca Udy.
Yeah. If there is attachment and emotional safety related issues, I would be happy to serve you in that capacity. I don't particularly do sex therapy, although that does come up peripherally in my practice. There's probably some attachment issues that started this whole thing. So I would say maybe some dual provider help. Somebody like me, somebody like Dr. Udy as an adjunct for the sexual related issues, somebody like me for the attachment and emotional safety related issues, to create a marriage and to repair trust. Create a marriage that you feel safe with and that you would want to send a sexy, picture of yourself to your husband, and that you trust that he is not going to create an AI version of you. I mean, I think where he's probably coming from is like, well, I'm not really cheating, but he's obviously desperate for intimacy. And you have to ask yourself, is the way that I've been holding boundaries in my marriage appropriate? And have I been maybe compounding the problem too?
Yeah.
So what he's doing is terrible. I don't know what you've been doing in the relationship, but if you want to stay, this isn't working.
Yeah.
So you probably need the help of a couple of different providers in this one.
For sure. Okay, question for DAs, both healing and healed. How many of you, after moving towards security or achieving security, wanted to go back to a fearful, avoidant, or anxious, preoccupied partner to try and make it work? Now, this is sort of a question for the group, but I still want to get your take, Doc. Partner, after you try to make it work, on the premise that the FA or the APX had also started moving towards security, what would be your advice?
My advice would be, what evidence do you have that that partner has moved towards security? What's your evidence? Are you going into the relationship saying, okay, I'm going, but you're going to have to change? I hate when people do that. They're like, well, yeah, I absolutely do want to get back together, but it's going to have to be that they change. You can't control that.
Yeah, that's called an ultimatum.
It's an ultimatum, and you can't control that.
Yeah, and it's different than a boundary.
It is different than a boundary. It's saying, I want what I want, and you better fall in line. There's breakups happen for a reason. And you can only control your half of the relationship. And so I think if you want to start a conversation and say, here's what I've learned about myself, here's what I think my needs are, and here's where my boundaries will be. How do you feel about that? And see what they have to say. That's one thing. But you can't go in like, I want to get back together, and you're going to have to change.
Yeah.
You're setting yourself up for disaster.
Yeah.
Trust is rebuilt slowly.
Yeah.
Security is built slowly. It's not a quick process. The hybrid group is definitely a fast track process to get the tools, but you have to continue to use the tools and grow your muscle memory and rewire your brain and nervous system towards security. And that takes many months.
Yeah, it's a practice.
It's a practice. And so I think going in with the goal of I want to make it work is not the right goal. I think going in with the goal of I'm curious to know what my previous partner has learned and how they feel and what they've been doing since we've broken up, and maybe if they've started this journey and what it looks like for them, that's okay.
Yeah. And if you're healing or healed, I think it's one and the same.
Yeah, healing is an ongoing forever
Yeah,
journey. As I
yeah.
just mentioned, I just told a story, and if you didn't catch last week's episode of me having an FA moment and having to catch it and correct it, please.
Proof that experts are still healing.
Absolutely.
But
and if they say they're not, they're fake.
Yeah. But if you're healing, I think these are what Doc just said are really things that should sort of be known, right? So you start with the conversation and then you take inventory of what their reactions or their answers are. And that kind of allows you to use discernment and knowing whether you should get back with them,
Absolutely.
And that's what healing is.
Right. And I have a couple of clients lately who I really want to make it work with my ex. They discarded me horribly. I really want to make it work. Why?
Yeah.
Why do you want to make it work with someone who's capable of discarding you like you're a piece of trash on their shoe?
Mm-mm.
Why? What is going on with you that wants that?
Mm-hmm.
What is going on with you is, I want to make it work, but only if they change.
Yeah.
Okay, well, how does that start? It's the only thing you can do is start with a curious conversation of what have you done in this space
and
of
taking
our breakup?
Accountability of what you've done.
And taking account, of course, that's, I should have emphasized, I kind of assumed that's like a given, and I shouldn't have for our audience. Yes, of course, you have to be at the place where you've taken accountability for all of your stuff. But I think it still shines a light on you a little bit that what is it about you that wants to try to change somebody else or believes that they can?
Yeah. For sure.
Because you've had evidence of who this person is, and you have to assume that going back, that's still who they are.
Yeah, because
the only thing you can do is be curious if that's not the case.
Right, because even if you had done something, even the tiniest thing to make the discard happen, someone who respects you and cares for you would communicate that to you and not just discard you.
Yes, yes.
Okay, so can you offer insight as to the DA needing to be viewed as successful as part of their identity, and how that can extend to needing their partner to also appear successful?
Oh, yeah, I see this all
Good
the time.
question.
The DA really wants to feel good about the relationship and wants to know that the outside world would look in and view the relationship positively. Their image is very important to them. Why? Because their parents really emphasized responsibility and achievement over emotional attunement. And so they prioritize looking good over feeling good. But not in the same way that narcissists do. It's just become part of the way that they had access to safe connection as children. And so they view it as part of safe connection.
Yeah.
If the world approves of our relationship, then it's safer.
Right. And that to them, it's sort of like that is love.
That is part of love.
Yeah.
Because their parents created that as part of love.
Yeah.
I have a lot of dismissive avoidance that when they're like, oh gosh, looking back now, I realize I only kind of got positive emotional reinforcement or attunement when I achieved or when I was successful. And so then now they crave that, right? They become workaholics, hobbyaholics.
And they want their partner
they
to
achieve
that too.
and so they kind of expect, like, I'm a high achiever, so you need to be high achiever too. Now, not all DAs are super high achievers, but the majority of them are.
Yeah.
The majority of them are. Even if, it depends on what you classify as a high achiever, but in their domain of competency at work, most of them are very high up. Whatever that looks like, whether it's a business owner, whether you're a dog groomer, they're the best dang dog groomer that ever walked the earth, right? They take a lot of pride in their work.
Right.
And not knocking dog groomers. I'm very thankful for my dog groomers.
Mine too.
They make my dogs look beautiful. And there's a big difference between a good one and a bad one. I will tell you that much. My dog has had some really rough haircuts till we found the amazing groomer that we have. But they take pride in their work. They take pride in their achievements. And so they want you to do the same.
Right. And they were conditioned to do that.
They were conditioned. They were parented to do that. And it's part of their nervous system, right?
Yeah.
And so they often want their partner to reflect them into the outside world.
Sure.
So yeah, it's a very, very common thing.
Makes Total sense.
So was there another question there besides, is that common?
No,
Okay.
no. It was just basically why is that part? Like, why is that part of their
it is
identity?
very, very common.
If you and your DA are discussing getting back together, this is a question we get all the time. We've been together 5 years after a 2-month no contact. How do you bring up them being a DA and Dr. Hensley's, she called them therapy. They're not therapy. Just let me be clear. Dr. Hensley's coaching options to them. Like, do I give them examples of how his behavior aligns with the DA attachment style and how it affects me?
No.
Stop right there, girl.
You're going to immediately hit their defectiveness when they're going to shut down, and then there's 0% chance of reconciliation. First and foremost, again, if you go through my breakup course, the first thing you're going to be confronted with is, why do you want to reunite? Are you missing aspects of the relationship, or are you missing the whole relationship? Because people in relationships are puzzles, and a lot of people have some of the pieces that are really important, but they're missing a lot of the other really important pieces. And we need the whole puzzle, and you deserve the whole puzzle.
For sure.
So again, this is coming into a situation. I want to get back together, but only if they heal.
Yeah. Yeah. Sorry, it don't work that way.
Yeah, well, I want $1 billion. So
yeah.
what do you do with that? Again, you have no control over their healing journey.
I think there is, if you're opening up conversation and that's all it is, and you're re-exploring the idea of reconnecting and it's mutual, then I think there is opportunity to say something like, hey, I've recently stumbled across, Dr. Sarah Hensley's work. She's an attachment and attraction expert. Like, give some credibility of where you've learned these things, and then be like, hey, I think I'm such and such attachment style.
You nailed it. You answered it. I didn't even have to answer it. You already know the answer.
Because we get this question so many times, and I've heard your answer so many times.
You have to come from an intellectually curious space, because they're intellectual, logical people. You can't come from it from a critical space of, you do this, you do that. You can't come from it from an emotional space of, I really want us to get this help and blah, blah, blah. You have to come from it as a, hey, this information was really interesting to me, and I'm curious what you think about it. Here's my attachment style. This is what I've learned about myself. Curious if you can identify yourself in any of these styles. And most of the time, they're smart people. They're going to go, yeah, it sounds like I'm a DA. That doesn't mean they will give two you-know-whats about fixing it. They have a very much love me as I am attitude, and that may not change. And so it's good to have that, like you said, that curious conversation of, here's what I think is interesting. Do you find this interesting? Oh, yes, you do. You think you're a DA. Would you be interested in learning more about how these blueprints that we have may have affected our relationship? And that can be a place to start. We're not talking about jumping back in with 2 feet. We're not talking about recommitting. We're just talking about maybe having conversations and maybe taking a healing journey side by side and what that might look like.
And getting really curious about each other. I think that's really big. And people miss that.
And then recreate the relationship
based on it,
based on the healing process and what the aftermath of that healing process looks like. Instead of going in, we're reconnecting, we're exclusive, we're together. And then
2 weeks of falling apart again.
2 weeks of falling apart again. I think when you've had, and so that's different than a situation where we had a fight and maybe somebody said maybe we should break up, and then we come back together the next day and we're like, you know what, that's not what either of us wants to do. That's a different situation than having a 2-month no contact period where there's a solidified breakup. When you have like a fight and you come back together, that might be an opportunity. And then somebody says, well, maybe we should just be friends for a while. Then I tell people, no. Either we're in this right now, or we are going to take a true separation to figure out our own stuff. And then maybe we'll talk and have a curious conversation after a couple of months of separation and figuring ourselves out.
Don't let that DA breadcrumb you.
Because that's what happens. They will create a situationship and they will slowly kill you one breadcrumb at a time.
Don't let it happen. Set those firm boundaries, girl. Okay. Does Dr. Sarah have any resources on helping to describe sensations in the body? I've been using the emotions wheel, and that is very helpful, but I'm struggling finding proper words to nail down what I am feeling in my body during the feedback practice.
Yeah, so she learned the soulless technique. Obviously, she's taken my self-coaching program or been in my hybrid group, probably just a self-coaching program, or she would probably know the answer to this if she was in the hybrid group, because that's where you get to really deep dive and ask questions. The naming sensations, it does not have to be like, I feel like my heart rate accelerating. It doesn't have to be, it can just be like my heart's beating fast. Like my stomach feels icky. That's okay to say my stomach feels icky. You don't have to have like a scientifically correct term.
Yeah, go back and listen to the emotional processing episode. That would probably be very helpful.
Yes. It's okay to say my stomach feels icky. It's okay to say I feel like my chest feels weird. It's okay to use those and Dana Dawsey talked about this when she was our nervous system expert way back in season 1. Love Dana Dawsey's work. Oh my gosh, we have to bring her back. Love you, Dana. Even I've, had my own expertise in this, and I still learn things from Dana Dawsey because she does such just intensely focused
She's
work.
very intelligent.
Highly, highly intelligent, and has just such a way of describing these things. But she even said in that episode, it's okay to use these like broad terms, right? Of like, I feel icky, or I just feel upset, or I feel, but we're trying to make it more specific to your body sensations. So it's okay to say this feels weird, or this feels
I've got goosebumps
off.
right now, or anything.
Anything.
Yeah.
To just, you're telling your body, I'm noticing it here. That's the important part, is the maintaining of attention to the area of your body that is having the somatic experience. And it's totally fine if you don't have the right words.
Yeah, I love that. I really love that. Let's see. I saw this online the other day. It's cruelly unfair that the person who wouldn't hurt him is the one paying for his fear. Huh? I'm typically a secure person, but this man has clearly done a number on me. It's been 7 months since we broke it off. Wait, is that it? That's the end of the post? I don't understand that one.
Repeat it, because I didn't even understand
I saw
the
this
quote.
online the other day. It's cruelly unfair that the person who wouldn't hurt him is the one paying for his fear. Girl, that's too deep for us. We're moving on. What? My brain can't wrap around that. I'm not
I'd
sure.
have to sit and reread it a couple times and really try to think.
Yeah, I'm going to have to. Okay, here we go. My ex is a DA or FA that leans so avoidant that I cannot tell the difference. And I am FA. I haven't talked to him, but the last time I did, I told him I was not going to tolerate his disrespect anymore, and then he blocked me. My question is it normal to feel numb during healing? Because I feel numb. I feel nothing. I don't know if something's wrong with me, or is this just me being over it? Most people here seem pretty knowledgeable, so I wanted to see what everyone thought. Well, guess what? You're going to get Dr. Hensley's thoughts.
No, you're dissociated.
Yeah.
You're in a freeze response. It's not normal to feel numb.
No.
When you are over it and you feel safe, you feel connected to the present, you feel deep joy, you feel excited about life and your future. You're not still looking back in the past at that relationship. You're fully ready to move. You're fully ready, leaving it behind. If you're still thinking about it and you're numb, you're just dissociated. You haven't even started to feel your feelings over this grief and that loss. So no, you are not, quote, over it. I know as much as you want to be. You are actually just, your brain has decided to pull you apart from your emotions so that you can't feel, because if you really had to confront the pain of probably the rejection and the detachment and the loss and the grief of this relationship, it would feel overwhelming. And so you need to be able to have the tools to have proper emotional processing, to really make sure you understand the stories you've built around this relationship and what they mean about you, and deconstruct those. Through, the metacognitive work that I teach, or, whatever other modalities you choose, and really to start processing this, because it happens to a lot of people. They get very dissociated and then they just move on. That's what DAs do. I always say the famous question you can ask somebody in the dating phase to root out a DA is, what did you do to heal from your last relationship? They have no answer. They're like, I don't know. I was just over it.
Yeah.
I just had to move on. It just is what it is. It was what it was.
Yep.
That's going to be their answer
Yeah.
because they don't heal. They just suppress their pain and they move on to the next partner.
Yeah.
So I'm sorry. That's painful, but
Yeah.
we
And I
would
know
love to help you.
I mean, those modalities are easier said than done, but that's what Dr. Hensley's for.
That's what I do.
That's what she
and
does.
we'd love to help you.
Yeah. Okay. So I had an explosive fight with my DA. I'm FA. The worst we have had in our almost 7-year relationship. I was becoming more and more dysregulated and pushing for connection more frequently, and it triggered his anger really, really bad. He called me some things that someone who loves you should never say. He literally pushed me out of his house, and we haven't spoke since, and I don't think we ever will again. Obviously, I'm reeling right now and trying to take care of my kids while barely hanging on by a thread. And the urge to beat myself up and ruminate and check his socials over and over is so intense right now. I don't think there's any coming back this time. Now I need to pick up the pieces and move forward. I need tips on how to get through this. I already have super low self-esteem. What are ways I can take care of myself right now and not ruminate? Oh, gosh.
Well, first of all, that's very unlike a DA to get that explosive.
Yeah,
so
I
I'm kind
agree.
of questioning there could be some other layers in there. I don't know. Okay, I have no idea. This is not me diagnosing anybody. Could there be narc traits? Could it be an FA situation? The only time a DA will get that reactive is if you trap them. If you literally get very reactive and corner them and they feel like they can't get out. And that could have been what happened if he literally pushed her out.
Yeah.
He might have felt like a trapped animal. That's the only time they'll blow.
Yeah.
Because their nervous system can't run away. They can't get away, right? They can't do their shutdown. So sometimes DAs have anger problems, but there's other things layered into that. But it is time to move on, friend. And really, I mean, it's the journey is, the awareness and accountability of what you contributed. Why did you stay so long when your needs weren't being met? What is going on with you?
Yeah. And what are the stories you're telling yourself when you ruminate? That's a huge part of it because we ruminate and don't really take any, or we don't have any awareness of what the thought really is. But the moment that you start stopping yourself and saying, well, is that true?
Yeah.
Is that productive?
Yeah. No, it's not. And rumination is usually a sign that the body is too scared to feel. So the body is trying to protect itself through thinking. If I can think through it and understand it, then it'll be better. No, you can search for a meaning till the end of time, but the only way through is to actually feel it through, right? So go back to last week's emotional processing, or 2 weeks ago, emotional processing episode.
It's basically called The Science Behind Healing.
Yeah.
That's the episode, the title.
And of course, our mindset and our stories are important, and are breaking down our attachment filter and understanding our own human biases that are really keeping us stuck is important, and that's a lot of what I teach, but really just being able to feel through it. And the rumination, it's a constant dopamine circle. When you use imagery, your nervous system sort of acts as if you're in that situation, and you get the dopamine hit. Checking the social media, that's the dopamine hit. And the dopamine is keeping you, it's feel good, it's reward. It's keeping you from being able to actually sit in your sadness and feel through the grief and feel through the regret that you may have for how you may have contributed to some of these issues.
And a lot of times I think if you are true FA, checking socials constantly is you just looking for validation and betrayal so that you don't feel so guilty about maybe what you did.
I'd say that's can absolutely be part of it.
Yeah.
And also just let me try to understand, trying to seek. So this is what I did my master's thesis on, and it's published in the Journal of Behavioral Medicine, maybe? I can't remember. No, it's not. I can't remember. That's not.
I can
that
look it
wasn't
up
my
and
master's.
put it in the description.
So my master's thesis was on this idea of searching versus solving. Okay, so solving is like actively trying to take steps to fix an issue. Searching is searching for meaning, right? Like, why did this happen? And we need both, but we can get stuck in searching mode. And searching mode it can go on till the end of time because there aren't definitive answers a lot of times of why someone did something. Sometimes, once you learn about attachment science, you get a better understanding of why, but also we're never going to know someone else's inner world completely. We can have an idea of their attachment. We can have an idea of their personality. But what was the breaking point? Right? We don't really know. What is the exact story he's telling himself? We don't know.
Yeah.
So you're not going to figure that out by checking social media all the time. You're not going to figure out what's going through his brain by ruminating. It's not serving you. And it's your brain trying to think through what it really needs to feel through. And it's also jointly a product of some of the old biases and filter systems that are attached to your wounding.
Yeah.
So we would love to help you.
Yeah.
I have a breakup course. We have a bundle where we have the breakup course plus the Achieving Attachment Security self-paced coaching
and you can always
program.
get the bundle, and then if you still feel like you have some questions, you can always add the calls on.
You can add the group calls
and
on.
it'll prorate the cost of the Achieving Attachment Security course off. Because that's the course that comes with the hybrid group.
Yes.
So that's always an option. Because I want to be a little bit more specific with her question, like where would you tell her to start? Like in terms of something really concrete, if she say that, her budget didn't allow for our services.
Take a sheet of paper and write down every single thing that happened in the relationship that hurt you and write it out. And look at it every single day. There's actual scientific evidence that helps you start to move away from ruminating and checking socials. I would deactivate social media for a while.
Yeah,
absolutely, and stick to it.
Yeah.
And then I would look at that piece of paper every single day.
Yeah, and then
then I would start
feel
a
more
therapeutic
confident.
journey.
Yeah.
Therapy is covered by insurance. Unfortunately, coaching is not. I hate that about our healthcare system. But we offer payment plans too. We try to find a service plus our payment plan option that will work for you.
Yeah.
Whether that's seeing one of our associate coaches like Coach Amy, who has the lowest price, or that's the self-paced program, we can break that up into payments at checkout. We want people to be able to have access to our services. But the first thing you need to do is write that list.
Yeah.
And you need to, because what keeps us in rumination often is toxic hope. This hope that how could I have been different? What could I have done different? You replay conversations. You have future conversations that are not ever going to happen potentially in your head, and you are not present. And I think it said she had children, right? And you are not able to attune to your children in this state. So you need to act fast.
Yeah.
And you need to first and foremost get rid of the toxic hope, have radical acceptance of what was happening, have radical acceptance of how your needs weren't being met or how you felt disrespected in this relationship, have radical acceptance of what those last moments actually, how bad they actually were. And that it's usually, it's probably, that's not something you can come back from.
Yeah.
And then start the radical acceptance, because you need that first. And then you need to start the journey of radical acceptance of what is going on with you and what went on with you in the relationship and what your wounds are and the work that you need to do to become a secure person.
Yeah. And then confidence will build from that.
It will.
I know that, she mentioned that she didn't have good self-esteem. Confidence builds from those small little steps that you take daily, whether it is just writing. I've always said writing really helps with any type of anxiety. Walking really helps with it.
Learn how to feel through it.
Yeah.
Go listen to the episode on emotional processing and try to use some of those skills that were described, because that is going to be the bread and butter of your healing, is really feeling through it.
Deep dive into that stuff, girl.
It
Deep
sounds
dive.
cliche, but the only way out is through.
Yes, 100%. Okay.
Let's make this probably our last one.
Okay, we'll do a few more because I don't know how, we've only done like 4.
Oh, but how long has this been?
It's been, we're right at it. Like, if we do about 10 more minutes, we should be good.
Okay.
That'll give us about a 40-minute episode.
Okay.
We don't want to bore you guys. Okay. This one you may or may not be able to answer. I don't know. Does an ADHD diagnosis reduce chances of a DA reaching out after discarding someone?
No.
Yeah.
It has nothing to do with it.
Yeah.
It has nothing to do with it. Everybody wants to blame everything in the world on their ADHD. I have ADHD. My daughter has ADHD. you can still become a secure person and have ADHD. My ADHD was CPTSD related. And although I think it's a little bit better, now I've got perimenopause, brain fog, cloud in the issue. But no, it has nothing to do with it.
Yeah. Okay.
Nothing to do with it.
My DA ex jumped into a new relationship. And when talking about why our relationship ended, he said, we had issues. We went to couples therapy, but we had major issues. He also said, I was emotionally checked out. Not much about what he did to heal or reflect. He got into a new relationship very quickly after. Is this a typical DA behavior? For the record, we went to roughly 4, maybe 5 sessions of couples therapy before he imploded and ended the relationship. I'm sure he left
because
out.
therapy tanks with DAs.
They
They
can't
tank.
do it.
They tank. Unless you have an extremely attachment-aware therapist that is trained heavily in attachment science, they're going to tank.
Yeah, I think we should do I think we should do a whole episode on that. So stay tuned.
Stay tuned.
I think that could be really interesting.
Make a lot of therapists mad.
Yeah, well, and I mean, we want to be clear that's not what we're trying to do. If anything, I think that you can help therapists to become more aware of this so that this can be a tool that they can teach.
Absolutely.
Okay, we'll do a few more. Hi all, would love to hear from fearful avoidance who broke up with their partner. Let's not do that one because that's like to other people in the group.
Okay.
Do you think ChatGPT is a bad idea to get advice from? It seems to always take my side and never offer constructive criticism to me. Ding, ding, ding.
I think we did an episode on that.
We did an entire episode. Again,
this is so problematic. Yeah. I have been asked this question so many times, and yes. I even had a couple that showed me their identical ChatGPT entries about their fight. They wrote the same exact script to ChatGPT, and one completely took the wife's side and the husband's took the husband's side.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's why it's dangerous, man.
Very dangerous. So no.
You can validate your way into crazy.
Yes.
Land.
It's happened.
It has happened.
Oh, this one could be interesting. The best part of now being a healed man is knowing with my new relationship with my FA partner, I want to stop right there.
Yes.
Because I
know. We're going to say it. Healed people don't put up with insecure people. Mm-mm. They don't. It doesn't feel good in their nervous system anymore. So perfect example, when I was on the tail end of my healing journey and I first put myself out there, the very first guy that I met, Donald was like the third guy that I met. Very first guy that I met was a guy from Louisville. He was an attractive guy, kind of my type. Very successful business owner. Again, my type. He was love bombing me. And I was proceeding with caution, but in my head, I was like, this feels like love bombing. And I even told him, I set a boundary after like 2 weeks of just talking to him. I said, you're coming on kind of strong. And I think I would just like to have a little bit of a slower connection. He didn't respect the boundary. He said, I understand. I'm just so excited to meet you, like you're so beautiful and like you're funny. And I'm sorry. I'm just getting really excited. You're right. I'll kind of slow it down. And he didn't really respect that boundary, but we had a date already planned coming up. I already bought an outfit. I was going to be like, I'm giving it's a 1 date shot. Like I get a free dinner.
Mama got to eat.
Mama got to eat. I'm a poor single mother. Really, actually, true single mom. Like an hour before the date, he calls me and he's like, actually, I'm not over my ex, blah, 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 blah. And I was so close to canceling. Like, I was like, I know this isn't going to work out, but I'm just going to have this dinner because this is love bombing. I know it is.
Yeah.
It felt icky in my nervous system. And I had immediately identified it. He was very anxiously attached. And he was probably trying to use me as a Band-Aid for trying to get over a relationship he had just exited. And then apparently she had come back around and wanted to talk to him that night. And he's like, I realized I'm not over her. And then he revealed he had only been broken up with her for like 2 weeks. And I'm like, ding, ding, ding. My radar was spot freaking on.
Don't you love looking back at moments like that?
It was screaming AP.
Yeah.
It was screaming AP. And I knew it was not going to, I was going to go on the date.
Anyway.
My girls were visiting their grandma. I was all alone. I was struggling with money a little bit, and not gonna lie. Okay, not that I'm using him for a dinner, but I was also like, I don't want to be somebody who just rules somebody out without meeting them in person.
You were actively dating, and it's fair.
It's fair. I was like, you know what? I'll give it an in-person shot just to confirm. But my nervous system was already rejecting it.
Yeah.
And before I would have eaten that up, I would have gulped it down like a delicious milkshake.
I would have had no awareness around the fact that it was happening.
It was so good to my nervous. Love bombing felt so good to my nervous system before. So when you become secure, your nervous system is your guidepost because you create so much internal safety that when something it feels off, your nervous system tells you immediately. That is why secure people reject insecure people. And that is why insecure people are inherently not attracted to secure people because they don't ignite the nervous system.
That's right.
Into fear.
And maybe I can think about the times that I was love bombed when I was actively dating one person in particular.
We'll call him Mr. S.
Mr. S.
I knew it before you said it.
You knew it.
He loved bomb the dog crap out of you.
And looking
back.
I
was insecure and I saw it.
Yeah, I know. Gosh, Rachel, my sister, saw it right out.
I saw it right out of the gate. And I loved love bombing back then. And I was like, girl, he's love bombing you.
Yeah. And I think back maybe at the time, like when you just said like love bombing felt good to my nervous system back then. And gosh, and maybe I'm just I'm comparing it to like how I can like from the lens that I see it now. And gosh, my everything about that situation was screaming, run.
Doesn't it make you feel sick now looking back on it? It makes your nervous system feel icky.
Well, and it's, there's certain people that I've dated that I can look back at and be like, and have really beautiful, fond memories. But he is one I can't. I cannot. And it like I can't remember. It wasn't too long ago. I saw something on social media about him and was triggered. And I don't really often get triggered by many exes other than, the ex.
The one that
I won't call him.
I am not your ex.
I won't call him my main ex, considering he told me that he
said you're not my ex.
Yeah, he said that I was never his ex. We have a child. We were together for 12 years. I think that solidifies that you were an ex. I mean, again, I don't want to. I want to be careful what I say, because. Well, I won't get into it, but I think that, maybe I shouldn't
and
call him.
And guess what? None of it's defamation.
Yeah, maybe I shouldn't. None of it's
suable content.
Right, it's my opinion.
It's your opinion. So in her opinion, it's her ex.
Yeah, and he was my worst. That's my opinion.
And you guess what? You can't sue her over that.
That's my opinion. He just happened to be my worst ex, so I guess that made him my main ex, right? And, he was the longest relationship I've ever had, if you want to call it that. Well, I'm doing air quotations right now. Relationship.
Alleged relationship.
Yeah. I mean, was it a shit show relationship? Absolutely. But the fact that, we shared a child.
Have we been threatened to be sued a lot on this podcast? Yes,
hey, that's how you know you've made it, baby.
Because we've been threatened with many lawsuits.
Yeah.
And guess what?
That's called success, baby. That's called success.
We know our rights. We know what's defamation and not defamation, and we ain't going there.
That's right. That's right. And you know what? I for the record, because I don't know if I ever got a chance to say this, is that I want only wonderful things for my
and
ex.
I know that deep in your heart.
I want
there's not an ounce of bitterness
for him. I want him.
It's laughable at this point.
Yeah, and I mean that from a genuine place because, and it of course I want wonderful things for him because it's a reflection on our son, but that is. I want wonderful things for him, for his wife, whom I don't even know.
She's cute as a button.
She is adorable. Once again, you outpunted your coverage, buddy. Anyway,
it's a theme.
Yeah.
Let's go back.
But I do want to just say that because I don't know if I ever got a chance to say that.
We're going to get another letter. Go back.
But I'm glad I got to say that I do truly want good things for him. Okay, last one we're going to do since we got a little sidetracked. Let me find a good one. This is a good one. Dr. Sarah, I have learned so much from you.
Oh, thank you.
Earning my attachment security has been one of the best things that have ever happened to
Yes,
me.
it is. I agree. It is one of the best things that can ever happen to you.
And then she goes on, because I'm going through a divorce with the DA, I've wanted to make sure that I learn and develop all the things I can during this time. And I can attest to the fact that after finding you, I have become the healthiest version of myself.
That makes me want to cry.
And then she goes on to say, are you offering any programs for single people? Would love to hear from anyone on this same path as well. I mean, obviously, all your programs are
All my programs are for single people. Achieving your attachment security can happen when you're single or when you're in a relationship.
Yep, exactly.
And so it really doesn't matter. The steps you take are the steps you take, because even if you're coupled up, the only journey you can control is your own. So you can't control your partner.
Yep.
So yes, absolutely join the hybrid group. We want you there. We want you to sail through this divorce as the best version of yourself.
Yeah, and if you have children, stay tuned, because the
Raising Secure Kids is coming.
We just have a lot of things in our repertoire right now that we're working on. There's so many things. So, but it's, it's working itself out. Okay, this is going to be the last one. I'm in a new relationship where I honestly don't see any red flags so far. Awesome. Which feels really good. At the same time, I notice part of me is almost waiting for the other shoe to drop. Oh,
Are you FA?
I've been there. I catch myself worrying about what might go wrong instead of just enjoying what's happening for me right now. For those of you who've worked through this kind of anxiety, 1, how do you handle the fear of repeating old patterns when things are actually going well? 2, what helps you stay grounded in the present instead of bracing for future hurt? Those are really great questions.
Well, it's embedded into your nervous system to brace for future hurt. So until you fix your nervous system, this is just how it's going to be. And, you can have all the awareness in the world. This, again, where awareness does not equal capacity. When it gets tough, that's when you are going to see how much the awareness has affected you.
Yeah.
It can change you a little bit, but usually not to the degree that it needs to.
And safety can change you a little bit, but
safety can change you a little bit,
but not again, to the degree.
Not to the degree your own inner work can.
Right.
It never is going to be to the degree that your own inner work can. So what can help you stay grounded? Checking your thoughts, realizing that this rumination over the what if, it's not serving you. What if a meteor falls on our head tomorrow? For God did not give us a spirit of fear, but one of power, love, and a sound mind. That's 2 Timothy 1:7. And so what is it serving you to be afraid? It doesn't prevent disappointment.
Yeah.
And I think so many people are so scared of disappointment that they would rather predict and expect disappointment than to face it in real time. But guess what? You're going to have to face it in real time anyway if it happens. So why not enjoy the present?
Yeah.
I think you need to focus on bringing yourself back to the present when you start showing signs of being stuck in the future, like you realize I'm ruminating about the future. It's not serving you. The future hasn't happened yet. And you have to learn to create a nervous system through emotional processing completion, through somatic awareness, through all of the things that I teach, and that a lot of things that I've talked about on the pod, to just feel safe being in the present moment.
And being you.
But those two things are tied together. You can't be in the present unless your nervous system feels safe.
Yeah.
And so I can tell you to be in the present, but it really is a capacity issue within your nervous system, that your nervous system is overriding your intention to be in the present.
Right.
So do the somatic work, do the emotional processing work, be aware of when your mind is coming there, bring it back, realize that it's not serving you, master your mindset.
Show yourself some grace.
Show yourself some grace and mercy, and realize that being scared of disappointment doesn't prevent disappointment.
No, and I know it sounds cliche, but if somebody can't love you at your worst, like, can they really love you at your best?
No, they can't.
So showing up authentically, that's. I relate to this question so much, because this is really how I felt in the beginning of mine and Josh's relationship. I was seeing no red flags. He was like, hitting all the points of like, okay, pass that test. Okay, pass that test. Okay.
I know. And you were like, I don't know what to do. This guy is like normal.
And I was so scared. I was so scared of myself, really. That's what I was most scared of just
screwing it up.
Yeah, screwing it up, and not. And that whole thing that we did in the last episode of my FA traits, feeling like I was either too much or not enough, and finding that balance between like really just telling myself, hey, if I'm too much for this person isn't the right person for me.
That's right.
Period. So
That's right. Authenticity. You have to be authentic, guys.
it's key.
Your nervous system will never feel good unless you're yourself.
And
that's
if
cliche too, but it's science.
It's so true. And if you don't, that person who is showing up securely, like if this person is truly secure and they're not showing you any red flags, your inauthenticity will be a red flag to them.
Yeah.
And that's what was big with Josh and me is he saw through that. I mean, from the beginning because I've told the story once before, but on our second date, I kept saying like, hey, well, we should hang out again, but no pressure. Like I would always follow up every sentence with no pressure. And man, I'll never forget this moment because it was a pivotal moment in our relationship where he said, you don't have to finish every sentence you say to me with no pressure. If I didn't want to be here, I wouldn't. And that was so sexy. Oh my gosh, it was so sexy because it made me feel safe. It made me feel safe and it made me be like, okay, you know what?
Right.
I can show up as me.
Yeah.
I don't have to have this guard. I don't have to feel like, okay, well, maybe he doesn't want to. Right. He just told me, which is helpful. And that's why I said it can help to have someone that makes you feel safe get to that point. But you still have to do that inner work because even after I had that safety, lots of my FA traits still came out that I had to work through.
Yeah, and still she had to work through it.
Still am working through. And now we're married. So, I mean, that just goes to show it's the inner work.
Again, it is the inner work. And someone secure is willing to be with someone who is very actively working on their insecurity and catching it and correcting it and doing the work. That will feel okay to a secure person.
That's right.
Because security doesn't mean you get it right all the time anyway. Mm-hmm. It's the ability to catch it, to correct it, and to take accountability and to repair it properly. Yeah. And I think Josh saw that in you.
Absolutely.
And so that is part of, he might have been through some of the tail end of your work, mm-hmm. and he may have been something that pulled you faster into security. Mm-hmm. But again, nobody that is earned secure is ever going to get it right 100% of the time.
Yeah. Even the people that are born secure, Josh doesn't get it right all the time.
Yeah. I mean, nobody is secure it's the ability when you get it wrong, quickly correct.
That's right.
Quickly repair.
Yeah.
It's not digging your heels into your dysfunction. That's
right.
Really the difference between secure and insecure. Insecure, they dig their heels in their dysfunction. They justify their dysfunction. Mm-hmm. And secure people are able to have that objective lens and to be like, whoa, I kind of screwed that up.
Yeah.
And what is it going to take to repair it with you? And they usually don't screw it up to the point of like no return either.
Right.
So there's that.
Yeah. And once you realize those things, it's absolutely life-changing. It's life-changing.
It's life-changing.
And
just say you're sorry.
Yeah. It's not rocket science, but
mean it.
But we understand that, it takes certain modalities to walk you through those things. And obviously, Dr. Hensley offers all of those things.
I do.
This is exactly what she does. This is exactly what we do at the Love Doc. And our mission is, of course, to be able to teach people healthy, secure love, not just for their partners, but mostly for themselves, so that you can show up as the best, healthiest version of yourself. And you even heard us say it right here in this episode from the words from the mouth of someone who is in the group, that Dr. Hensley has helped her show up as the healthiest version of herself. And there's a ton of testimonies out there like that. And for all of those who have left those testimonies, thank you so much.
Thank you. Yes.
They're powerful.
They are powerful. And they keep us going on the days when our technology is bonkers
every day.
Something falls through, or we had a bot leave. We had a bot.
171 0-star reviews.
171 0-star reviews on our website from a bot.
Yeah.
That infiltrated our website. Yeah. And our IT guy was like, oh, it's a bot. I'll take care of it.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I didn't even know that was a thing.
Me neither.
And so my mom calls me flipping out. And I'm like, Mom, don't tell me this right now.
Yeah.
Raina already said she'd take care of it. I'm just going to close my eyes and I'm going to do my neurofeedback. I'm going to do my Solus technique right now.
Yeah.
I don't know if somebody, because at first I thought somebody's trolling me. Like somebody's like actively trying to like hurt me for whatever reason. Maybe I said something and encouraged their partner to leave the relationship or something, and they're coming after me. No, it was a bot.
Yeah, it was a bot.
Whatever.
And that's the thing. Like, that's why I have to have the mentality I have with, helping doc run this business. If I have to have the mentality, is somebody dying or bleeding? Okay, then it's not the end of the world.
No, we'll figure it
let's
out.
not involve Sarah. She's got too much going on. Let's just figure it
Thank
out
you.
and let's move on. So anyway, please, I think this is
Don't be a bot. Be a real person.
don't
and leave
be
us
bot.
a review.
Leave us a nice review. Leave us a nice review on the podcast. Leave if you've taken any of Dr. Hensley's services and they've been beneficial for you. Please leave us a review on the website as well. And please keep listening, tuning in. We read all of your emails, guys. I try to read all of the testimonies. I go in and review those too. So please continue to listen. And until next time, peace, love, and perspective.